Hi everyone, I'm Baz. This is iSharpen, and today I'm going to sharpen a couple of normal knives, but phone ringing. I better get this. Hello, Baz speaking.
You home?
I am, yes.
Alright, I'll drop you off a bit of mince and a steak, alright?
Fantastic. Appreciate it.
Right. See you shortly.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I'll keep that in because that was a customer whose knives I've sharpened, and he was butchering a large section of cow, and so he's going to bring me around some steaks and mince. How good is that? All right, so what I was going to say was a couple of normal scan pans. I'm going to zip through those first, but at the end of the video we're going to try a ceramic knife on the Blackstone. Apparently these are really good for this. So another request that I got was more Microscope. So let's come and have a look and see what this edge is like on the Microscope. Then we'll sharpen the two stainless and then we'll finish off with this. All right, if you want to watch me work, come and watch. Okay, so let's move this razor blade out of the way and let's have a look and see. Let's come in real close. So start at the back, and we can see that it's got quite a lot of chips in it. They weren't entirely visible. Focus again. We want all those to come out. Now, previously I had some success on the SJ250. Hang on. This is quite sensitive to the focus. And then I finished it up on the SJ, the Japanese. So I was doing it on the SG and getting the rough bevel on the SG and then finishing up on the SJ. Let's have a look at that tip. Yep. So that's what that looks like. So hang around and we'll finish that up later. So before we have pudding, let's eat our meat. Because how can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? All right. Now these are a little bit stained. So what I might do is I might give them a quick spritz. Alcohol. Then get my 4/0 stainless, sorry, not stainless, steel wool. And give them a bit of a clean up. Get some of that rust off. Not all coming off, but enough of it is coming off. Just had some good news about my motorcycle. So for those of you who are following, I just bought a 1981 GSX 1100. Magnificent bikes. Fastest bike on the road in their time. But I want one because when I was about, how old was I, 1981? I was about 17. And they came out and they were fantastically terrifying motorcycles. So this one here, have a quick look. A few little chips, nothing really major. It's already got some pretty good bevels. So this will only take a very quick time. What angle for a normal stainless kitchen knife? 15 per side. I call that chef sharp. A lot of knives come from the factory with a bigger angle than that. By bigger I mean more out like that. So, you know, often, well actually, you know, what are these made of? X50. An X50 can handle a 30 no problem. If it was X45, I'd say maybe 32, 34. But this will be fine. So first of all, let's get that stone wet. You can see the water soaking in. I don't know if you saw that quickly. These take a lot of water. Different to the SG wheels or super grind wheels. Did you know that SG stood for super grind? Alright, set this angle up first. I love these. They're just so easy and quick to use. This is already set up at 15. Now I'm going to drop the millimeters just a little bit down to about 242 or 3. Let's see how the stone's holding up. I bought this at 245 or 245 and a half. It's currently at 243. And I've done a lot of knives, so it's holding up really well, which was one of the things I wanted. So let's have a look. Oh, that has to come down. Now here's another little tidbit. The way to preserve the angle here is if you start dragging it up on the stone, this will wear out. If you lay it on the knife first and then drag it down, because this little piece here has to kind of stop at the join of the knife and the wheel. So I start up on the knife, drag it down. And that tip was provided to me by one of you guys. You know who you are. All right. Okay, that's a little bit low. Now, do you know why this works? If you don't, if you do, just play along. If you don't, I'll show you why this works. So on the Tormek, we have a range of angles. So if I lay this flat down on the wheel, that's obviously 0 degrees. If I raise it right up here, that's 90 degrees. So by raising and lowering the knife, you get your degree change. You can put that in the stiff ship book if you want, but that's fact. All right, tighten everything up, locked, straight into it. Because this has got a few chips, I'm going to do a few passes on one side. Normally you would alternate, but in this case I want to bring it down a fair bit. You know, by a fair bit I mean a few fractions of a millimetre, but I want to make sure that we're dealing with clean metal all the way through. So the good news on the motorbike was that I finally found a good mechanic who can do all the work that I want him to do, including fiddling with the carburetors. You say carburetors to a young mechanic, he'll go, "Carby what now? It's not an oil change that I want to know." And he's going to do that, plus he's going to throw some ceramic paint into my new exhaust headers to keep them stainless. Oh, here's my mate. I'm going to put you on pause and I'll go and see him. How good is that? I'll show you what I got. One T-bone and a kilo of mince. How good is that? Thank you. My customers are the best. My watchers, my viewers are the best, and my subscribers, well, you're just the best. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Put this in the freezer. See you in a minute. Ah, that's fantastic. This is not normally something you'd expect from a sharpening channel, but in the recent videos that have just exploded with views, a lot of you are leaving lots and lots of comments. I love them all. I'm replying to every single one of them. I said, man, we just like watching you work and just conduct your day. So this video is in that style. Now we've done that side, let's do this side. And again, this is on the fine setting. And because the Blackstone is so sharp, it is doing the job on the fine setting. A bit warm today. So none of you picked up on the reference to the word perfect. Think about it, I'll give you a clue. British television. The clue is British television. Perfect. Oh, look at that, it's perfect. All right. I think that's done. I've got a burr because I could see it forming. Perfect burr. I don't know if you can hear that noise, but that's the kid behind with his basketball. I don't mind that. That's good noise. That tip just needed a little bit of work. Okay. Perfect. Bit of chrome oxide. Just check to see you can see that. Yes, you can. So as we discussed yesterday, light touch, one pass only, see if the burr's gone. If it has, no more needed. And at the risk of repeating myself, I know some of you have seen all this before, but what angle am I honing at? Well, you know, some people set up the rest and have it exactly minus a little bit, plus a little bit. I don't need that, because what happens is as you lay the knife down, when you are in exactly that bevel, it grips because there's more surface area. It grips, and so what I do is I find that gripping point and then I raise the knife just a little bit, not that much, but just to illustrate. And that gets me up onto the apex. It sounds a little bit different. Oops, that's 2 passes now on that side, never mind. Because I'm working the apex, I don't care what the bevel looks like. And as one butcher just commented on yesterday's video, you need some tooth. You don't want super shiny edges. Okay, I can still feel a little bit of burr left there, so that second pass wasn't a problem. Now let's do a third. Clicking my microphone. That should be done. Beautiful. Perfect. Now, you know, I've got stuff here that I can give away. The problem is that YouTube is very strict on competitions and things like that. So I'm not allowed to ask you to like, share and all that. Any YouTube action is forbidden. But how can I get you guys to enter into some sort of competitions? Let me know. I'm only one guy here. I don't have any skill with competitions, but I'd love to give things away. I mean, imagine if I could give away a Baz knife. That'd be great. I'm sure you guys would want that. Oh, while we're swinging around, where's Chili? There he is. G'day, Chili. Hello, up here. Not interested. So some of you want me to clean up my mess, hey? Well, that's an interesting thing. I suppose I could. I suppose I should. I suppose I won't. First of all, let's test it and see how sharp it is without the kangaroo tail. Let's bring this around a little bit like that. I can already feel that's a bit noisy, a bit grabby. Should be able to improve that. And I'm honing in the direction of the grind. So I'm grinding like this, right? So it's perpendicular lines to the knife. And so I hone in that same direction as well to really dig into those channels and release that micro burr, if you like, or the root of the burr, as was discovered by Dr. Vadim. I'm not taking credit for that. He also put us onto the kangaroo tails. Now, one of the guys in the comments said that he had some luck with some lizard skin. It worked. So if you can't get a hold of kangaroo tail, which is basically everyone outside of Australia, try buffalo, horse, or in this case, lizard skin, or anything that's got some roughness to it, but is still leather and softer than steel. Because I'm using the ridges here. I don't know if you guys know this, probably do. But can you see the ridges? See those ridges? They will help to remove and dig into the because the leather on kangaroo tail is harder than the leather on cow tail. If you do this on cow leather, then as it grips the fibers, it will tear the fibers out of the cow leather. But kangaroo tail, being much stronger, will rip the burr out of the knife, and the fibers will stay on the tail. It's because kangaroo tail is the strongest leather in the galaxy, or the known galaxy anyway. Right, small bits at a time, only what's necessary to get a clean slice through here. And yes, I know this is not meat, it's not vegetables, but what am I going to do? Cut food all the time? Food is unreliable. This is completely reliable. Oh, still needs a bit more, I think, although a little bit better on the back. And I start off by pushing reasonably hard, medium hard, I suppose you could call it. And then I should really, I don't always remember, finish off very lightly, light. Just dragging it along lightly, and that should do it. Sometimes I go into the back. I haven't tested this for efficiency, but that works as well, I think. And this is the suede side, or the inside of the animal. Poor kangaroo. Oh well, it's gone now. If anybody wants a kangaroo tail and lives in Australia, I have plenty for sale. Look, that's a big stack of them right there. I've got another one on the wall there. I've got another one on the wall. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, where is it? No, can't see it. Over there. Oh, they also make really good, after you're finished with it or whatever, soft jaws for a vise. Very tough. A lot of people use that. And it's moldable as well. If you wet this and really push it down around there, it'll keep the shape. So that's interesting, because I've got some tails that are no good for stropping. Either the ridges are crooked, or you know, something's not good there. Oh, we didn't test the knife. Finally, let's have a look. I reckon it should be good. And so I'm thinking of things to do with them. What can I use them for? I can always use the suede side. Oh, I see that. Much better entry. Oh, peeling off some through, shaving the paper. That's good enough. Ding! This is the beauty of having two phones. I'm recording through one iPhone 14 Pro Max, another iPhone 14 Pro Max here. The problem with that one is it's only yours is only a 256 gig. This is a 1 terabyte. And I should be recording on this and using that one, but whatever. Who texted me? Oh, knife customer. What time do you stop sharpening knives today? 6 p.m. ish. All right, so that's that one done. Oh, let me sanitize. Where's my bluey? Where's my blue cloth? What have you done with it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Right, that's beautiful. Look at that. Nice and clean. They notice that. They say, oh, that looks clean. Yep. Now I'll put a little warning sticker on to bring attention to the fact that it's been worked on and now dangerously sharp. How sharp? Oh, a bit of swing. Yep, lovely. My butcher said I don't cut paper. True, true, true. Now, let me turn the fan on because it's a bit bloody hot. Right, it's a beautiful shape, like a utility, but it's kind of longer and nice. I like this. Do this one quickly, then we'll get onto the ceramic, which I know you're waiting for. Wonder what sort of title I'm going to come up with. The videos about why I charge twice as much have gone ballistic. That's putting snacks in Chili's mouth. Appreciate your views, really do. That's fantastic. My aim is to make a living from the YouTube channel, and maybe I can start sharpening for free. That'll be interesting. Like the landscaping guy that I mentioned the other day. He makes so much money from those landscaping videos. People say you should get onto TikTok, mate. I don't know about that. You got any thoughts on TikTok? Do we finally get on there or what? I don't know. I wanted to stay away for political reasons, but maybe, I don't know. People said you would go great on TikTok. Don't know. I might bring that camera, that knife back up to the camera so you can see the after sharp. I have a burr. This wheel is fantastic, so fast. I think my engineering eye spots a little bit more needed on this side. Now these knives do occasionally go into the dishwasher, I'm told. I could tell by the handles they're cracked and greying. I said, please no more dishwasher. I think that these edges are so delicate that even the caustic nature of a dishwasher is not going to help. Plus the hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Plus they're banging into each other and they're not secure, right? They're banging and clanging. It's not good. It's not good. Got a good burr. Burr side up. I love knife sharpening. And in another life, I was the world's first financial entertainer. So I would tell them my ideas on wealth and freedom and all that. And because I was into stock markets and options trading and all that sort of thing. And sometimes people in the audience would get defensive about their jobs. I'd say, oh, who wants to stay in a job? Let's see if we can get you out of a job. Say, well, I like my job. So let me apply a little test to you. You love your job, hey? Would you do it for free? No, I wouldn't do it for free. well then maybe you don't love your job as much as you think you do. I would absolutely do this for free. If I was retired and bored, I would love to just sharpen knives for free for people who appreciated it. You've got to do something. Retirement doesn't mean putting on white socks, sandals and watching TV and having dinner at 4 p.m. It means finally being able to do whatever you want with your day. I wrote a book. If anybody wants to read it, let me know. It's a digital download as well as an audio book. I will read the whole book to you. Oh, that was a bit tough going in. I'm hearing noises. No. Bit on the furry side. Let's see if that's better. Yeah. Look at that. Makes a difference. Certainly makes a difference. All right. Bring you back around. Sanitize. Put a little sticker on. Now this one you didn't see the before, but this you did, so I'll show you again what it's like when it's finished. And that little chromy light reflection on the top, that's the honing wheel, polishing at 8,000 grit. Now it's arguable whether you want a polished edge or whether you want it to grip, but you know, I don't want the nail to feel anything. That burr is going to wrap around the edge and blunt your knife prematurely, so we don't want that. Now, ceramic. What angle? There's already an angle on there. Let me try, see if I can match it. Now this marker, it does mark, I managed to get it off before, but I don't want to use this too much. I just want to use it maybe for this video. And then we'll get it off real quick. All right, and the reason I'm doing that is so that I can lay it on the stone. Try and approximate the angle, and I'll see the wear mark. Too high, so look at this. This is too high, just like we were in the 80s. So what I need to do, so it's high on the blade, which means it's laying down too flat. So we need to raise it up and make the angle a little bit more obtuse. Still too high. Move it over a bit. Still too high. Yeah, it sounds different as well when it's running on the bevel. So you can see here, that was the last one I did. This one on the left, the one in the middle was the couple that you saw, the one on the right was nearly there, but this one's much better. So that's the angle. Now let me get that black off See how it runs off as soon as your alcohol. Get that off there. Still a little bit stained. Let it soak in a bit. Okay. Let's sharpen and see what happens. So we'll leave it on the, oh, there's a couple of high bits there. So I want to just be really gentle on this. Really gentle, what's that? Really gentle. Just see what happens. So apparently the silicon carbide wheel is really good for ceramic knives. I don't know, I can't see whether that made a difference or not. It's hard to tell because there's no real shine. But we'll give it a couple of passes and see what happens. And we'll finish this off on the Japanese wheel. I might try the tiger wheel this time because my blue wheel is kind of very small now, my SJ. Although we know that that works, we'll see. I'll decide later. Oh, we didn't test how sharp it wasn't. Using paper. But it was pretty chipped, as you saw on the microscope there. That microscope is only 1440p. Any magnification further than that is software. We don't want that, we want pure optical. There are some better microscopes out there that will show a display at 4K. I think that would help, and 2000 times magnification. I don't know whether that's accurate or real or marketing. You never know. Of course, there are no burrs developed, and I can still see some chipping. Let me show you. There's one there. Another one there, couple there, couple there. We'll keep going until I visibly can't see them. And then we'll try and polish it on the 4000 grit wheels. Of course, the thing about ceramics is that many people say they cannot be sharpened. It's impossible. They chip too much. Well, we'll see about that. I've had some success on the Super Grind SG wheel. So I presume from all reports that this Blackstone will do an even better job. I'm testing for burr, of course there is none. Those chips are either gone or disappearing. A few little right at the back. Oh, that's starting to feel pretty bloody sharp. PBS. And if this passes the paper test, then I'm not even going to the Japanese wheel. See what the magnifying says. That feels sharp, man. I'm glad to have you guys along watching, because normally this conversation just goes on in my head. And I agree with everything, I think. So I'm not sure that that's useful. Having you guys here, I know I'm going to get some feedback. Very helpful. I love this little community that we've built. You all seem like real and decent people. The comments are fair. Sometimes a little bit harsh. But then I look at the history of the person who made the harsh comment, and it's usually first comment on the channel. Now, nothing wrong with that, because I welcome all the new guys, welcome you if you're new. But you've got to buy me dinner if you want to yell at me. And by that I mean make a few comments first. Don't just come in all guns blazing. I'm trying to do my best here. I can hear a little tap, tap, tap. Don't know what that is. Could be a little bit of impregnation. I think the title of the previous videos that are going fantastic at the moment are where I commented about how I charge double. I think that was interesting to you. You thought, what? Charges double? Let's see why. So I'm going to try and come up with clever titles, not to clickbait you, but just to get you a little bit interested, so you know that at least I'm going to discuss something interesting. Well, look, those chips to me appear gone. You see them? Be interesting to see what happens on the microscope. So let's have a look at that. Okay, you can still see a few small ones there. But the big ones seem to have disappeared, but still we've got some jaggediness. Oh, that's a big one there. Try and keep the zoom moving. Okay, so better, but still a little bit chippy. Chips. Are you salt and vinegar? Tomato sauce? Ketchup? Or just salt? Are you chicken salt or regular salt? For those of you who don't know what chicken salt is, you're missing out on one of life's great pleasures. Okay, better. Now, I think that this needs to be finished on the Japanese, without a doubt. I don't think we're going to get any better than that. On the normal grindstones. So, I lost my thong. No, not that kind of thong. We call flip-flops thongs. Or, otherwise known as Chinese safety boots. Now, right, so let's put that to the side. And now when I change angles, I've got to remember I'm going to clean this water a bit. I've got to remember to measure the wheel so I can change the diameter of the wheel, as well as maintain a 15-degree angle or a little bit more obtuse so that we can maybe just put a little secondary right on. Is that a primary, secondary? Is it the primary, the one that cuts first? Don't know. Doesn't matter. So I might increase the angle a little bit just to make sure that I get that edge. So I'm going to pause the video while I change my water. You don't need to see that. We'll come back and we'll change the wheel. Okay, water's changed. To change a Tormek wheel is easy. It's got a positive lock there, very fast, quick lock. You just break the lock. It's a reverse thread. Take the wheel off and swap it. Where do I put this? Oh, we'll just lay it here. Shall we go with the Japanese or the this one? Just so you know what we got here. Is the Sun Tiger 4000 grit. So we'll see. Well, let's try this for the first time, because this is part of my haul. I bought the black wheel and a whole heap of other second-hand bits. I always like to buy second-hand off of chap in Perth, Western Australia. Now, first of all, before I forget, what sort of diameter we got here. Oh, this is big. This is 252. That's handy. So I'm going to go to 250 plus a smidge. That'll be close enough. Let's raise it up. I'd like to clean this a little bit. So, first of all, let's try the standard Tormek grading stone, see if that makes a difference. Ish. Not really making that much of a difference. Let's try the smooth side. Not really making a difference. Starting to come off a little bit on the stone. Let's try what I used on the blue wheels. And that's a little bit of 2000 grit wet and dry paper. See if that cleans it up. Oh, we run out of water. Soaked it all up. These soak up a lot of water. Alright, let's have a look. Got some fresh paper somewhere. There you go. Well, we'll try this used paper first, see what happens. You know what? It seems a bit rough. I think what I'll do, let's take a skim off. Why not? Dressing tool, this is the TT50, it's an old one. I call it the old rattler. But this hasn't been skimmed since I bought it. So we'll probably, with the skimming, might take it down to 250, which is handy. So what I do is I move the tool into the center, tighten that, and drop it all the way right until this knob here starts coming up, which means it's on the wheel, and then raise it up just a little bit. Now drop it down to a nice round number, at number 4 there. Let's see if that touches anywhere. Nope, not touching. Okay, let's bring it down to, we'll go 2 numbers. 2 numbers is a lot. When I'm doing a final run, I'll only do half a number. So let's just see, that should touch. Here we go. But we can see how it's out of round. It's only touching one piece, or one part of the wheel. But it's a good start. It's a little bit like this as well, isn't it? Okay, did the edges chip? A little bit, not too much. The blue, yeah, a little bit of chipping there. That's cool. That doesn't matter because I round off the edges anyway. So now we've run out of water again. Oh. Soaking up a lot of water. The water is full orange now. Normally I'd skip through this or I'd fast motion, but a lot of you said, no, we want to watch you work. So you're watching me work. I'm going to come down 1 number. And what I'm looking for is a full sound all the way through. And I'm touching all the way through this time. So when I come back, I'm going to do a really fine cut and that should be enough. Might also be interesting just so you know how long this takes. It doesn't take long. See how it's missing? So I'm going to do another full number this time. Make sure that I fully get the whole surface. Talk amongst yourselves. Here's another trick. You lift the wheel, you don't adjust the knob, you take it all the way to the end, lower it back down, lock your same position in, and come in from this way, and it stops the chipping. We'll see. It might have. Let's have a look. What's up, Chili? No, I've still got some chipping. And actually, I'll bring you in and you can have a look and see how coarse that is. There you go. See some of that chipping? The blue Tormek wheels are much worse for this, so this is not bad. That's how rough it is. I want that to be smoother. So now I'll do a final cut, and this time it'll be a bit slower. So now I'll drop it down one number and we'll go a bit slower. And then when I come back for the last pass, it should, without adjusting the number, give it a nice little light skim. Shouldn't do that, but I'm running out of water. It's a bit rattly. That feels really coarse. Don't know what to make of that. That should not be that coarse. Let's try one final no adjustment pass. See the blue SJ wheel, this guy here, would feel much smoother at this point. So this is my first time using the Tiger wheel. We'll try smoothing it on the with the grater, see if that helps. Okay. Not sure. Maybe these work differently. It definitely does not feel as smooth as that would at this point. But early moments. You're coming with me on this journey. So let me just bring you in again, because that handheld view was very handy. Chili. All right, so let me take you out to the zoom. Now, I don't know if you can see that. But that's quite, I mean, it's smoother than before. It still feels quite rough. So, let me see if I can smooth it with the Tormek grading stone. Still feels, I can still feel lots of bits and pieces there. Not bits and pieces, but a lot of not gouges. It just feels not rough, but very contoured and very groovy. Not as in HR Puff and Stuff groovy. You know what I mean. Okay, that's a little bit better. That's actually better. So maybe just continue with this. Oh, that's definitely better now. Yes. Let me put a radius on this wheel. Remove those chipped edges. Run out of water again. Oops. Have I got enough in here? Oh yeah. Thanks for hanging with me. For those of you who are into this, this should be pretty interesting. I mean, it's interesting to me. Okay, that feels much better now, but not this when it's done, it feels KY smooth. This feels smooth-ish and but this stone is definitely helping. Okay, so it takes a bit more to condition this one than it does the SJ. That's interesting. Now we're getting there. Now we're getting there. Now we're getting there. A little bit more. Talk about long form. What are you doing, love? I'm watching a guy smooth a stone with a stone. Stone was a great movie. Who knows the movie Stone? Classic Australian motorcycle movie. Look it up. Think of it as the precursor to Mad Max. I was there when Mad Max was released. It blew all our minds. See, now that feels pretty bloody smooth now. Except that edge is a little bit... There you go. How you going is a phrase that means not so good. So you could say something that's not so good is, oh, it's a little bit how you going. Okay. That feels much better now. Much, much, much better. And I bet if we smooth it with a little bit of 2000 grit, I can find a clean piece in here. I'll bring you in for another look and you'll see how smooth it is. It wears it all off pretty quick. That is as smooth as an SJ now. So it's got capacity to be smooth, just that it was a little bit rough to start with. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Still feels a few little peaks and things. Oh, and you know what else I want to do? Why don't we try the wood trick? This is just a dowel. Not particularly hard wood or anything. And I know it shouldn't make sense. It's not filling the pores with wood. It is actually lowering. Oh, that feels great now. It is lowering the grain, or relaxing the grain, making it all lie down. That feels fantastic, ready to use. Let me bring you in so you can see how smooth that is. Oops, go to ones, macro. I don't know if you can see that or not. That is smoother than the smoothest thing on the top shelf at the smooth store. Yeah, very smooth. Very, very. Look at that water though. Yuck. Okay, so I'm going to clean all that up. We'll come back and we'll try and get that ceramic chip free. Free chips. Now, I've just noticed on the side here it's got stamped made in Japan. That's cool. So, before I start, I imagine there's some slurry in here. So I got myself a brush and I just want to clean the wheel, and then I'll change the water once more. Maybe unnecessary, don't know. Oh, that feels baby smooth now. And yeah, that did make the water a bit dirtier. So I'm just going to quickly tip that out. Ooh, I have a YouTube from Michael397. A comment. Michael, if you're watching this, how you doing? How you doing? Okay, we are ready to go. Just pop that over here. Whew. That was an ordeal. Now, Oh, you know what? I forgot to measure what this angle actually was. I was going to go with the 30, but that's not what we measured it at. We measured it with the marker. So I'm going to have to use that same method again to see where we are at. I'm glad you reminded me. Now, if anything, I want to focus on the apex, so I don't care about catching the full bevel. Now you can see that's high up on the bevel. We don't want that. See that? We want it lower, which means we have to raise the rest, because as we raise the rest, it goes towards the apex. Oh, that feels better. There we go. That's what we're going to do. Now let's get that black off before it stains. All right. Straight into it. We're going to go back over to the microscope to see if those chips have disappeared or been minimized. Okay, what can I see? Oh, okay. Yes, I can see some reflections. We're near the bevel and a little bit apex. So I'm just going to give it a bit more time to do its thing. Now, I don't know if I'm expecting for it to be chip free, but the paper test will tell me. Now, just yesterday or the day before, I sent a text message to, I have 2 customers with ceramic knives. You've seen me sharpen both of them. And I said, how are the ceramic knives going? And this is months and months later. And they said, knives are fantastically sharp still. I said, any chipping? They said, yeah, a little bit, but not much. But still fantastically sharp and usable. I'll do 2 more passes here, and then 1 on each side, and we'll test it. I can see some glistening, and it's doing some bevel, all apex, but some bevel. So it could do with more. What about this side? And I'm using the sun to reflect. Might give a couple of passes on this side slowly, give it as much of a chance as possible. Although a shiny bevel is really not the aim. The aim is to minimize those chips and to get as straight a line across the apex on the microscope as possible. Aussie flies, mate. Now I sold a couple of Baz knives to you guys. Thank you very much for ordering. You know who you are. So after I've finished this knife, I'm going to go and wrap some of those Baz knives. I also sold a kangaroo tail to New South Wales, I think. So you're all supporting this channel and I really appreciate it. I mean, a lot. So if you're wondering how this channel gets monetized, advertisers are paying to interrupt this movie. You know, you click to see them or you skip to them or whatever. Either way, as long as they can introduce themselves to you, I get paid. Now these are actually quite shiny, so I might even proceed until I get them full shine all the way. And they pay YouTube to interrupt you. All right, briefly. Now the ads are an interruption, I know that, but if you think about it, compared to free TV, where you'll see 11 ads in a row, on YouTube you might see 1 or 2. Now if you are on YouTube Premium, I get paid regardless, so thanks for that. And I recommend going on to YouTube Premium. Of course, I'm using YouTube's own money in order to pay for Premium. It cost me about $17 Australian per month. And for an ad-free experience, it's just fantastic. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Couple of more passes. And if you're wondering, yes, I charge more for this. More. How much do I charge for a ceramic knife? Well, with all this effort that I'm putting in, I charge $35 for this. And the nice lady was very fine with that. Very fine. Said, yep, no worries. All right. Let's see how we went. All right, hopefully you'll be able to see what I see. Let's come out to the sun a bit. Oh, I can't see now. What we might have to do is let's try this. Hey, chilly with the sun to the back. Now, can you see? Let me just stop and start. See the shine? There you go, you can see it there. That's all Japanese 4000 grit. Right, not too bad. Feels pretty sharp. Let's have a look and see how sharp it is. That's interesting. Let's come over to the microscope. That looks pretty clean to me. What do you think? Let me see, can you see it? Yes, you can. Alright, now obviously I've got to adjust the focus here, but oh, let's try the other side. Might be easier. Wow, that looks beautiful. Definitely chips are still there. Oh, there's one. But much better. Much cleaner. Oh, there's another one. Oh, still a few more there. That's probably what I'm feeling on the paper. Oh, is that a big one? Right there. Oop. Bit of muck. Focus, where's the focus? There it is. And that tip is much sharper as well. That's an improvement. That is definitely good. I reckon I'm going to give it a couple of more passes just to give it the Irish. You know, the Irish? To be sure, to be sure, to be sure. I'm sure the Irish among you appreciate that I did not try to do the Irish accent, because I'm sure you're fed up with that. All right. Let's give it... How many passes? If I was here by myself, I'd give it 5, but let's just give it 3. This movie's nearly finished. Hang in there. Still feels very smooth. 2 of 3. Three of 3. That's it. All done. As good as I'm going to make it. I wish I could show you what I see here. I'll try one more time. If I can get that reflection going. Okay, so you can see the reflection there. That's the Japanese wheel, and I think down here on this one you can see how it's not all the way across the bevel, but it did get the apex. So I think we're going to call that good enough, eh? Let's see how it cuts. Not super perfect, but not too bad. Am I being too harsh on myself? Is that really good? It's not really. It's not like a beautiful wool stuff or a Japanese. Yeah, the entry's not super good. But that's not too bad. I'll show you by comparison what an 89 Baz knife. Well, here's the Baz knife if you want to buy one. Beautiful rosewood. They're just beautiful, beautiful knives. Very sharp. Genuine Damascus, I've proven it. VG10 steel. Let me show you what that does. Right. See, so similar. That wasn't super brilliant. It's been sitting around for a while. I might just give it a quick. On the suede, because even oxidation in the air will dull a knife. Did you know that? Let's try it one more time. 89. This is the knife that I've just sold. So look at that entry. Pushing through. Beautiful. That, today's movie complete. I'm very happy that you joined me for that. Where's my knife? Here it is. Let's give it a final test on some magazine paper. How can you argue with that? That is good enough. All right, so thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me on this little bit longish movie, but you said you don't mind the longs. So leave your comments below. We've got a lot to comment on. And thanks for watching. Thank you to all the new people. Thanks to my subscribers. Thanks to those who are buying Baz knives. There's details in the bottom if you want one. I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left. 8. Oh, I thought I had less than that. So I've got 8 knives left. You want one? Let me know. Details are in the bottom. Send me an email. Tell me what country you're in. Tell me that you're a subscriber. And I'll send you my best price. Express postage. So you don't have to wait too long. That was interesting. Orange. Free chips. Chili. Ceramic. X50. Oh, I've got to show you this. So, remember the chap from the destroyed Wusthof knives? He made me this as a gift. He has a laser cutter, a CO2, and I'm going to peel it off right now in front of you. A little display stand in the form of a mirror. Hey, look, there you are. How good is that? How good is that? Thank you, Robert. That looks magnificent. So he's lasered that for me based on my magnet. There it is. Baz. So where should we put that, I wonder? Well, we'll just put it up here for now. Oops. Left a little bit down the bottom. Gifts from my customers. How good is that? I've got steak. I've got ground beef, or mince as we call it down here. We've got a mirror emblem. How good is my life? Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next what? Movie.